Hey yo, little man, what's going on, everyone? Nick here from Little Man YGO, back at again with another video, and this time we have another added to the series of perfecting Amaryllis. Is the Hamster Ryko Caius package worth it in Amaryllis? That's the question that we're going to be answering today. But before we jump any further, we are at 500 subscribers. Oh my goodness gracious. We hit a milestone, boys. Thank you so much for all the love and support you've been giving to the channel so far. Really do appreciate this massive feed. You guys all came together. You all subscribed. You're all watching the videos. I love you. You hear that? I love you. My goodness. So, for those of you who have not subscribed yet, we're gonna try to hit 1,000, right? I've not figured out what to do for 500 yet, but I'll let you guys know whether it's in the community tab, whether it's in another video. I don't know, but you will know. But the only way that you're able to find out is that if you actually subscribe to the channel. I'll give you a couple seconds to do so. I'll wait. All right, and another news here, we have a Team Luman Discord that we want everyone to join. If you want to come hang out with us, have some fun with the team, it's not just myself. There's Sam in there, there's Matt in there, and there's all the other little men, aka jabronis, which we kind of all dick around. Look at us. We were all celebrating 500. I'm like, yeah, we fucking did it. We fucking did it, boys. So please drop that there. The Discord link is in the description below. So take some time to hop into there and come say hi. Come say hi. Okay. So jumping right into the video, is Hamster Ryko Caius worth it in Amaryllis? So there's been some discussion in the Amaryllis Discord, if you guys have not seen yet, as to whether playing a package like this ultimately does make sense. It's fair to say that that is the case. You know, obviously the Caiuses are it's Caius format. It's not Edison format. It's Caius format, boys. So, and there's a lot of fodder in here that we could take advantage of. But obviously, the bigger contradictions with Caius is the hidden armory stuff itself. So, this is Rob the Man's list that is in the Amaryllis Discord. So shout out to him for providing the list to the Discord. Ended up just taking it and just playing a couple of matches with it and just kind of seeing like my thoughts overall. So he ended up just deciding to go down the direction where we're playing the two Caiuses. I mean, we're playing three clusters, three Titanios, a lot of tribute monsters within the deck. We do have the brain control in the deck, and then he cut down on the hidden armory, which personally, I think that this is like the whole point of playing the deck. Like, I really do not think you could deviate or go lower than three of this card. And one of the bigger contradictions with kind of like a Hamster Ryko package is that you have too many normal summons almost at hand, which is fair, you know, like, but that's what you go with sacrificing. You're sacrificing this for that. Obviously, he threw in the return and the brain control as like pseudo DDR and Mark of the Rose kind of like esque effects where obviously return is a massive blowout if you have it. Obviously it sucks ass if you see it early and you can't get your deck going, but you know that's neither here nor there. He also opted to play Soul Exchange in the main deck, which could help out with the Caius's overall. Skipping the battle phase in an aggro deck is not as optimal as it sees, but at least in my opinion. But we're gonna see if this actually works out today because there is a couple of cool things that are going on here. Necrogranna is cut out of the main deck. We have Pike Spreader here, so double Hamster, triple Ryko, double Lila. Love to see the Lila kept into the deck. I think Lila's like one of the best cards in the deck, hands down. It just solves a lot of the deck's issues that it had before. Staying in to grab the rest of the deck. And then looking over and obviously cutting down the Wing Bust, Mirror Force move to the side deck, which is, you know, an interesting touch right there. Obviously, if you're playing the Soul Exchanges, you do opt to play Vanity's Fiend too, which is a very, very good card. I'm not too sure whether Vanity's Fiend or Fossil Dyna are just like better in general at this point, just because Fossil Dyna does have that ability to be like removal at the same time, where Vanity's Fiend is like could have this deadish kind of effect. We're on the double scale drain, trap stun in the side deck. I do like this a lot. You know, obviously, if your trap count is low enough, maybe it might be worth switching over to Decrees. But overall, you know, can't complain, can't complain. DD Crow, Cyber Dragon, but very cool stuff here overall. Lots of happening in this deck. But we're gonna play a couple matches here. We played a couple of matches, so we're gonna show how it goes. So I won one of them and I lost the other two. And the other two, one of them was just like, come on, bro, like I got sacked. And the other one was just like Blackwings. But we'll show both of them. We'll show both of them. So we're playing against ST. This guy's like rated 750, so he just grinds Dueling Book all day and just like does whatever. His hand is shite. I think he's playing Chaos Fairies, but we charge off, set the hamster, oh well, set Sanguine and pass, because that's like the way to do it. He summons DD Warrior and attack. So that kind of already signals to me that he doesn't have anything, because like if you are throwing DD Warrior Ladies at Raikos, then your hand sucks. But that's okay there. That's okay. So he sets the Herald that he draws. Ryko hits the set monster. We trade in, we draw 2 cards, and this is where the Caius is going to come in and banish the Herald. I saw that and I'm like, he must be bricked out of his mind, which is okay. So he ends up fadering here. And then ends up passing the turn because we put back Amaryllis and then passes. And the reason why we do this is because we could smell the smell. Oh, I could just smell these Caiuses coming. So like what the cool thing with Caius is that like it counters other Caiuses in the sense that like you either banish Amaryllis or you have to crash the Caius or you banish the Caius and then you have to run over the Amaryllis, and at that point he's still in graveyard, but he decides to banish the Caius there. He deals 1,000s at us. We deal 800 to him. And then end phase, we hit the Typhoon in the back row. DDR is coming down, discarding the Phoenixian, and getting back to Titanium. This game is just like slowly going to get wrapped up real quickly. Soul Exchange stuck in the hand. The card doesn't do anything, but we're able to put the Ryko down, which is very, very nice. We draw. We don't care about Gores or any of that nonsense, so we attack over it for 28. And then after that, we're going to flip the Ryko to play around the other potential Kais in the hand because there's another card in his hand that's just like not doing anything. It's very safe to assume that that's the case. We mailed the Dandelion, and this game's immediately over. So he can't. There's no way for him to answer the Titanium. And he draws a return, and the game is over. Perfect mills, great draw, GD. I mean, I don't know why you're upset. You're playing Edison format. This is like one of the ESAC-ier formats. So get wrecked, boy, get wrecked. But he's sad, like it's Yu-Gi-Oh, brother. It's Yu-Gi-Oh. You're gonna see me almost rage later on, but that's okay. His end's looking a little bit more reasonable there, which is great. We set the Hamster and then we pass because we want to put the Hamster down because we do not, for the life of us, want to mill another Ryko. I think this is the other thing that I sort of noticed when I was just playing through this deck was that we were having too many cards with similar functionalities and there's just too many mill cards in the deck where Ryko, like Hamster is interesting obviously here because it walls out some of these like the recruiter stuff where typically Amaryllis has a tougher time just pushing through recruiters. But we hit the back row right there because why not? And then we draw return. We draw return. And we just summon the Lila because we want to crack the back row. We set return and then we pass our turn. And that's the other thing too. If we cut cards like Necrogardna and like multiple plants, like we're really reducing our density of good cards to mill, right? Which is something I've definitely talked about a little bit in the past as to why I only play the 2 Raikos and then the 2 Lilas. I've definitely experimented with having a Hamster in the side deck for when I'm going first against like decks like this. He knocks the set, we shuffle up. So he knows immediately that, we have a Ryko in our hand, which is fine, right? That's just the way it is. And then he sets that and passes. He sets a card and passes. We Ryko it. It definitely has crossed my mind to just summon the Dandelion and just attack into it, which would have been bonkers big brain play. But my brain was not working. I mean, it was working this game because we crushed this guy this game. So we drop attack for 200. He drops scores, which is fine. It is the way it is. Yes. So we set the plague because we want the plague to be in the graveyard because we want to top deck a card from our hand for hidden armory and then get the Mark of the Rose to snatch a dude, right? Essentially. So we were setting ourselves up for that. But obviously, getting banished is not like the end of the world because, like, remember, we do have this this return play here, which is going to be very, very, very nice for when that play does touchdown. He's going back and forth a little bit. I'm deciding on what I'm going to do. I double sack for Titanium and just decide to run over the Gores. Just because, like, you don't need the soul exchange. I don't know. I think the soul exchange might be a little bit too mid here, but that's okay. That's okay. But we're attacking over the Caius. We're setting the Dandelion. We're passing our turn. He's going to allure away. And he's gonna mind control the set. I have no idea why he does this, knowing that all 3 Raikos are accounted for. It's not like you're going to gain a tremendous amount of value from it. Yeah, he fucked up there. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. But we soul exchange out because we need it. We draw 3 Amaryllises. This happens 2 matches, right? By the way, where we draw all 3 Amaryllises, which sucks, man. This sucks. But this is our way to getting them in the graveyard. So I guess he searches for honest and passes. We summon. He summons special summons the Cyber Dragon. He attacks. He honest is over, which is whatever. Who cares? And then after that, he decides the Caius for the Shadow Monarch for the what's it called? The getting rid of the Amaryllis, which is fine, very, very fine. So we're deciding what we want to do here. We flip a turn. So we decide to summon all the duties back, right? And let's see. We end up going into a Synchros 5/8 for the Stardust Dragon. We end up top decking for Plague. We end up just activating the Hidden Armory to mill that Amaryllis that we just milled to get the Mark of the Rose out of the graveyard. We activate Mark of the Rose to yoink the dude, yoinking, and then we attack, and then he runs in the Fader. The one thing I just realized was that was not in this extra deck, and it was Dark End. You have to have Dark End in this extra deck, just by the way. I mean, I don't think whether took this the extra deck from, I forgot whether I took the extra deck from him or whether I just pulled it from like an old deck list or something like that. I forgot to put the Dark End in. This is the reason why you put Dark End in your extra deck. You have all the room in the world for it. So he's deciding when he's wanting to banish from Lights and Darks or whatever. And then he banishes for Chaos Sorcerer, and then ends up like DD Warring Lady OS over, which is cool, So we draw Lila, and we fear nothing. So we're just going to normal summon the Lila, attack into the Fader. And then after that, we are going to switch it to defense to pop the other back row, getting us a nice little +1 there. We mill the other Hidden Armory. So this is the other thing I kind of wanted to point out within the deck is that if you mill your Hidden Armories, like those are your huge extension plays, it just like feels very bad, like, and that's why you want more of them, because knowing that you always want that card in your hand. At least in my opinion, you always want that card in your hand. So he's going to summon the Sorcerer. Who fucking cares? Whatever. He runs it over. We have 12 cards left in deck. We have no idea where our Lone Fire Blossoms are. They're just like there. But we top deck Lightning Vortex, the card that we sided in. Lightning Vortex is such a fantastic side deck card. He's grabbing back the Shining Angel. And then we're banishing out for Amaryllis is here. So we're getting 2 back right at the end phase. We're going to whack him with it, and then we're going to pass our turn. He draws Kaiku, which is... This card sucks. This card is like really not good, but people play it anyway, so that's okay, And then we just sit there, we just switch our dudes to attack, and then we just pass our turn because we have no reason not to do this. He draws into the Mirror Force, so we end up pro-storming, because that's nice. We DDR discarding Titanium. Titanium gets back Titanium, and then we're gonna run right into everything there. We know that's the Recruiter. The one thing I wanted to trick my opponent into was him summoning DD Warrior Lady and not knowing that when you attack Amaryllis into DD Warrior Lady, DD Amaryllis is going to destroy itself before DD Warrior Lady is able to banish. A lot of people do not know that ruling. I caught a lot of people like that, but obviously maybe you watched the videos. Maybe you watched the videos where I was talking about it. I know I explained it on a True Heroes channel when I was on there, but which is why you should go watch that video too if you want to get good at beating this matchup. My goodness. So we end phase. We banish for Amaryllis, which is fine. He sets for pass, and then we top deck Caius the Shadow Monarch, baby. All righty, Rube. The out. Oh, GG. GG's, he said. At least he said GG's. He's a little sour, whatever, who cares? And the next match here we play against Blackwings. That's right, Blackwings. Hooky hoops. I play against Blackwings. And then this card is not showing, but I don't know. Well, hopefully the replay doesn't like bamboozle itself, which is fine. So we T-set and pass. We banished for Amaryllis because we opened to double trade him. So we were like on fire here. He summons Sorako, special summons the Bora, and then Bora runs over the Amaryllis, which is fine. And then he attacks over the Dandelion, and then he sets the ick and passes the turn. So we ended up like wing blasting that, and then we end up top decking into DDR. So we're gonna go for the I play around clue play. So we're gonna go right into the Armory Arm. We're gonna DDR pitch the trade in because we're not gonna have a high chance of hitting a level 8 later on. We attach the Armory Arm over and we run right through the Bora. So he ends up taking 3,800 points of damage. He cannot attack over this thing unless he has double clue, which is exactly why we're playing around that. So we end up going for Amaryllis, banishing at the end phase, and the reason why I left the Ryko is because if he has another dude, I want to again trick him into trying to target a monster on the field with Ryko, knowing and then out and negating with the Titanium, because people cannot read cards. So he tries to pump. We negate that. Ha ha. Um, he can go right into armed wing. He runs it over. It literally doesn't matter because we're gonna literally go for a game on the following turn. So we end up drawing, and then we run right into this dude, and we burn him for a whole bunch of damage, and then the game is over from there. Very cool play. Very cool play. This is how you play against Blackwings, right? So go in game number two. Game number two, he goes the hands, Shura, Shura, Crow. He has the Crow. He's a Judgment. Judgment's a very strong card. He goes Shura, set, pass. And I draw Titania. So I draw into Titania, draw two. Set Ryko, pass, because we don't want to like play into a back row. We want to be able to at least out the creature or out the monster or whatever. We can't handle, I think our hand cannot handle, it might be able to handle getting a value out of deck. I don't know why I didn't do that, but that's okay. That's okay. Might be worth hitting the back row there, but who knows? Who knows? So we end up hidden armoring, just getting the Mark of the Rose, because we do want to put together a Caius play on our following turn. Which is really cool. So there might be some merit to at least playing one of this card in the main deck. Like I'm not really too sure how I feel about it, but he has a Prescient Solemn back row that pass. So we end up marking the Rose, discard banishing for Shura. We tribute for Caius, the target. He flips the judgments, and then I decide to just go for game, right? Because like why not? We hidden armory to take the creature because and the reason being is because like I want to play around Icarus attack, which is what he could potentially have more than anything else. He flips Royal Oppression. He should I forgot to activate the Dandy tokens where he could have taken more damage there. But that's okay, right? That's okay. Yeah, that should have been yeah, I just caught that. My goodness. Don't forget your Dandy token. I'm so notorious for just forgetting Dandy tokens, and but he has the Collude in hand. So lame. This deck is. I know I ran. Maybe it's not because like obviously this is a bad Amaryllis matchup, but like this deck is just so lame. It's such a lame deck. I can't believe people play it though, but that's okay. Um, he draws for turn. He has the Rocco. We bottomless the Rocco, and he sets another card and passes. We have to heavy storm here. Like we have to heavy storm. He draws a guy, and then he goes to Shura over and attacks. And then from there, he's deciding whether he wants to collude or not. So he does, and he pulls the value out of the deck. I have no idea why he didn't attack again. But look, what? Dueling Book, what are you doing? I'm losing. Come on. Like, if he attacked, I literally would have milled Amaryllis and it would have not been as bad. Sad. Sad, sad, sad. But we're getting destroyed here because of the fact that we have 4 level 8 monsters in our hand, which is not. And obviously, it's moments like these where if you top deck Caius, I want to throw my deck halfway across the room. But that's okay. I digress. I digress. Yeah, so he attacks over, he deals a whole bunch of damage to us. We're just not so we top deck Lone Fire, and I'm just like, dear God, thank goodness. So we Lone Fire, Titania. We decide to push over the Vayu because that's the only creature there that cannot trade with Kalut. All right, we're giving you some lessons on how to beat the Blackwing matchup here, which is cool. He top decks Gale, super unfortunate. We have to negate that because, whatever, right? Um, and he just attacks with both creatures and passes the turn. We draw Ryko, and I'm like, oh damn, whatever. Like we're not doing well here unless we hit exactly Dandelion. And the Yugi guy spoke to us. We got a Dandelion Mill. Hooray. Hair yish. So we top deck Brain Control. So even if he were to grab another creature out of the deck, the fact that he did not grab another creature out of the deck made me think he had Clute in hand, which is a big, big thingamajig there, right? So, but also at the same time, he would have gamed me with it if he already had it. So it's really interesting why he thought he could do that, but I summoned the wrong guy, misclicked immediately. He bottomlesses, and the reason why I summoned this guy instead of the Amaryllis is because if he had bottomless, I could just DDR right back, put Cluster to the graveyard, and just start attacking. So that's exactly what I started doing. So I attack. And I think this is where I make the throw, where I banish for and just bring back Amaryllis. Sure, it puts him on like you better win the game next turn kind of deal. Um, He draws Icarus, but he already had the Bora, and it was just unfortunate, you know. I think that I could have definitely have played that better, where I just didn't have to bring back Amaryllis, so that's completely on me. Um, yeah, I think that was like one of my bigger misplays, at least within the game. But we live and learn, you know. Like, and I should have trusted my gut instinct because if you look at the graveyard, you see no Blizzard, you see nor Boras, so he has like a 1 in 6 chance of having Bora in 27 cards. Those chances are just way too high. And in game number 3, where I got absolutely destroyed, he's playing this like Frog Monarch, Spirit Water Art, an Armed Sea Hunter. So, for those of you who do not know what this card does, after damage calculation, if this card battles an effect monster, negates the effect monster, and you must control a water monster to activate and resolve this effect. And this card would be destroyed. You destroy a level 3 or lower water monster instead. It's like Revive King, except it's dog shit. So, he water arts me, and we look at the hand and we're like, uh-oh. Um, yeah, we're milling too many cards syndrome here, or we don't have enough like cards here. So we mill 3. We will Hamster Ryko, Hamster Caius, and then Wing Blast. Um, he brings out a Light and Darkness Dragon. I mean, he draws Light and Darkness Dragon, which could fucking end the game on me whenever he wants. But this is unfortunate here. So he summons Ryza, and then we just put down Ryko because I'm like, all right, play the guy who doesn't have a Monarch. But he has the armed Sea Lancer duty good, dude, and he just runs it over, and I can't do anything about it. So I'm like, okay. It could have literally been a Monarch and been way more effective. So I don't know if I advise to play that deck, but he ends up sniping the other hidden armory out of my hand, which is so fucking annoying. I mean, this whole game, this whole match was him just like using confiscation cards on me. And then I draw this hand, which is like such an awkward hand. I mean, and then we have skill drain here. We put skill drain down because like we just want him to run over dudes, but he just doesn't do anything. He just sits there. Like, I don't know. Like, he just sits there with dudes. He doesn't do anything. I don't know whether he thinks it's that, but we soul exchange and then we get 2-for-1s. Well, 2-for-2'd. It's a minus. Water art is a -1. So, but he has 3 of these things. I can't beat this shit. Like, what are you gonna do? But the reason why I put Drain down is because like we can just at least start bringing out Amaryllis and start whacking him with it. So we have that going for us. Um, yeah, like we're just not going anywhere. Negates and then he tributes and I flip Skill Drain because like I want to flip over the Dandelion and attack into it. But he changed the water arts to look at the hand, and he ultimately is able to resolve the effect but he pulls out Wing Blasts. Which just makes me think, I'm like, what is this nonsense going on? So we end up wing blasting the back row. We draw on the Ryko. Yeah, I mean, with skill drain, and here's the thing with skill drain is that like you almost need to be very careful when you activate the card. It's not always the most optimal, but you know, it helps a lot when it is insane. Like when you already have Titanium up, it's so good. It's the reason why I only play like 1 of it. I've never found myself wanting to play 2 of it. It's not like the card is amazing in Amaryllis. It's like it just hurts you less than it hurts them on the matchups and when you bring it in, more or less. Um, so he has like, and there's just like absolutely like nothing I could just do here. Well, I'm just sitting here as a sitting duck. I'm just like, where is these Titanials? Where are these? And then he just like water arts and gets rid of the brain control. Super duper unfortunate. Super duper unfortunate. Um, and then after that, we attack, and then we get him frog, and I'm like, oh damn it, I'm so stupid. Like he could just bounce the Caius right back to hand, so he doesn't take it by mark. Um, and then he tributes for Vanity's Fiend. He attacks with everything, and then to add salt to the wound, he just heavy storms in main phase too. Like, why couldn't he have done that immediately? But whatever. Those are the matches. Those are the matches. So wanted to show off the deck and the game plan a little bit. Couple of final thoughts. There's too many cards that mill and not enough, and it's like reducing the amount of good cards to mill. You know, like, and I think if we're like Hamster, Ryko, Caius these deck, this might be the best approach to go with it. You do have to fit a lot of cards into one deck, and that's like a big thing with Amaryllis as well. I think Caius does meet its merit of like being like a one of in the deck, especially if you are still main decking the brain control. Or else if you're not playing the brain control and or triple hidden armory and hidden in this, it might not even be worth playing. It's really dependent there, but I did like the Kaises a little bit. I don't know about playing so many Raikos and Hamsters. I might go to it might be worth going 2 to 1 and just trying that out. And but we'll see, we'll see. But hope all of you guys have enjoyed the video today. So please like, comment, and subscribe for more Amaryllis, Edison, retro Yu-Gi-Oh. If you like my voice, you subscribe too. Peace. Have a great day. Stay safe, y'all.